And so once we got through that, we had to formalize it in the rules package, and we did. And then we went to work. And the first thing we did is delivering on the promises that we made during the campaign. We made a commitment to America. We said the first bill we're going to take up is the bill to repeal those 87,000 IRS agents. And Adrian Smith is now, you have the plaque? So he's got the plaque. With the result of the vote, 221 votes yesterday. Every Republican voted for it. Every Democrat voted against it. Yesterday, every Democrat went on record saying that they want to more than double the size of the IRS to go after people like the hardworking families, the single mom who's working 2 shifts at a restaurant. The CBO confirmed that when they added those IRS agents, it wasn't just to go after the millionaires and billionaires, it was to go after people making less than $200,000 a year. Broke President Biden's pledge. We actually had an amendment when that bill was going through to say that the new IRS agents couldn't go after people making less than $400,000, to hold President Biden to his own pledge. Do you know every Democrat voted against that amendment? And so those IRS agents would be set up to go after hardworking families across this country. Frankly, what we need is more Border Patrol agents securing America's border, not IRS agents going after hardworking families in America. And so we passed that bill. And we're going to pass more good bills this week. You're going to see us today set up the Select Subcommittee on China to finally confront the challenge that is one of the greatest threats to our nation. And that is what the Chinese Communist Party has been doing all around the globe, making challenges to our country and other countries around the world. We're going to set up that church committee to look at some of these federal agencies that are weaponizing government to go after families across this country based on their political views. That's not what government should be doing. We're going to be looking into that as well. We're going to pass the Born Alive Act. This is a bill we talked about a long time. In fact, every Republican was a co-sponsor of this bill last Congress, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't bring it up to a vote. You saw last night we passed the rules package. I know a number of members of the press were asking me yesterday morning even, are you going to pass the rules package? And we said, of course we are, because the rules package is a culmination of member meetings, negotiations that have been going on for months, frankly. And then you saw last week, there were a lot of conversations about changing the way that Washington works. And that's really at the heart of what the rules changes addressed last night that passed ultimately overwhelmingly by our members, because Washington has been broken. I don't think you have to do a poll to know people across the country have recognized that Washington's broken. Washington just has not been working for the families, the millions of hardworking people across this country who are struggling under the weight of all the reckless policies passed, signed into law by Joe Biden, passed by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for 2 years, where you've seen devastating inflation as a result of their reckless spending. You've seen incredibly high costs at the grocery store, everything you buy because of the reckless decisions made in Washington. Energy costs through the roof because of the reckless decisions made in Washington. An open border that has not only led to millions of people coming into our country illegally. Last year alone, the number of people that came here illegally are more than the people in the state of New Mexico. That's how many people came in illegally just last year. We're going to set up our committees. You saw yesterday we finished out the chairmanships. We're going to start populating the committees. And then the committees are going to get to work, bringing bills out that'll actually address inflation, allow us to lower costs for families, fighting for those families who have had nobody fighting for them in Washington for years, for way too long. Washington has needed to change, and last week we started that process. Last night we culminated it with the rules package, and now we get to work implementing it, and that's ultimately what matters, is getting the job done for those families who are struggling all across this country. And we're excited, and we're up to the challenge. We're ready to get to work.